Hi everyone, it's Monday, it's 5, and that means it is the Ignite Show live at 5. So here I am, Monday, the 31st of August. Gosh, we are fairly getting through the year at this point, and tomorrow is the 1st of September. And that means it's only a few days until my challenge starts, right? So I'm opening the doors to my free challenge on Friday. Can't believe it's come around so quickly. And that also means that I am full on in the midst of promoting my challenge and doing all things challenge related, getting ready for the challenge, prepping for the challenge, talking about the challenge, promoting the challenge. Everything in my world right now is all about the challenge. But I wanted to come on and do the Ignite Show and talk about something a little bit different. I will be talking about the challenge as well, but this will be a speedy Ignite Show today because it's just full on right now. So I've got loads that's happening right now. So I thought I would come on and talk about something, but also mention the challenge as well. And I am just going to check and make sure that I am live where I should be. Let's just have a wee look here and just refresh this page. Make sure that I am live. Hopefully I am. And let's see, yes. Now, am I live? That was a live that I did a little bit. Oh, there I am. I am live. There it's there. It is live. Okay. Yeah, so I am going to be talking about, so my topic is all about having red cheeks when you're presenting, right? Which is something I don't normally talk about, but I thought, do you know what? I'm going to talk about this today because throughout my career and even now, sometimes this still happens to me now and again, not very often now, but it used to happen all the time. So every time I got up to present, every time the spotlight was on me and I had to say something, I would just feel the burn rise, right? And it would usually kind of start round about here and it would make its way up my face. And before I knew it, my face would be burning bright red, just with the stress and nerves of having to present. And the thing about it is, most people, right? Because ironically, I actually help people with this now, and I actually help people with their presentation skills now, even though it used to be something that used to fill me with dread. I've got to the bottom of what was causing that in me and what was happening. But the thing about it is, most people fear public speaking. Most people are terrified, right? If you put a stage in front of most people would just, think about, right, what's the quickest way for me to sit back down rather than stand up there on a pedestal, on a stage, in the spotlight? I would rather, I don't know what I'd rather do, but most people are terrified, right? Most people are terrified of doing it. And most people, because people get nervous when they're presenting and doing public speaking, most people have got a thing that they do, like a thing that happens when they're nervous. And I remember some people talking about this before and calling it a tell. So, oh yeah, that person's tell is, and it might be they get, I don't know, a red rash on their neck, or their leg moves, or they get a twitch, or they do something with their hands. Just, usually there's a thing that you can look out for if you know them really well as well. You can look out for and think, there's the thing. With some people, it's more obvious than others. And for me, I used to think that, this was just like a massive thing for me and really, really obvious. And what happened was, I would get up to present, would start to feel my cheeks burning, and I would focus so much on my face and what was happening on my face rather than the message and what I was trying to talk about, that before I knew it just, everything just, I would get, a brain fog, my mind would go blank. I see someone actually has just liked this, and I think it was, who is watching this? Let me just have a look here. So it was liked by Rebecca Carolan. So Rebecca, if you're watching, I don't know if you are actually watching live, but if you are watching, then It doesn't tell me that anybody's watching. It says nobody's watching. But if you are watching, then drop me a little comment in here and say hello, because I think you have signed up for my challenge today, which is amazing. Can't wait to welcome you into the challenge. It's going to be great. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So yeah, if you are on, I just see that on my screen over there. I don't see it on here, but if you are on watching live, then drop me a little comment, say hello, let me know who you are, how you are, and what you are up to today, how your day is going. So Rebecca, if you are on, let me know how your day is going. So yeah, so that was my thing. I just always felt like this was glaringly, blatantly obvious that something was going on for me, that I was nervous, and that was the last thing that I wanted people to know, right? The last thing I wanted people to know when I got up to present was that I was nervous. I don't know, when I think about that now, actually, I think, gosh, why was I so precious about that? But anyway, that was the thing. I didn't want anybody, I was trying to put on, the facade, the veneer. I'm a senior person. I'm cool. I know what I'm doing. I've got this. Measured, centered, calm, cool, collected. Because, senior people in organizations don't get nervous, right? That's the thing. That's what always went through my mind. So it was always like, I've got a show to put on. I have to be on it. I need to be. I just need to have it. I need to have it all together. And I need to present this image of someone that is calmly confident, even though I was squirming inside. But I couldn't get away with it because I wear my heart on my sleeve, and that was what happened. I would just get red in the face, and when that happens, I could feel my cheeks burning, and what would go through my mind is everybody that's watching me just now, everybody that's listening to this, everybody that's here in this room right now is going to know that I'm really nervous. And then that just made me worse, right? So it's like this vicious circle. And so I know lots of people are like that. Lots of people feel nervous. I can't wait to sit back down. But their thing, the thing that they do when they're nervous might be something different, right? But mine was really, really obvious. And so, it was just like, gosh, this is a nightmare. Like, I just, how can I stop this happening? So why am I telling you all of this, and how does that help you? So if you are one of those people, right, if you are one of those people that when tasked with getting up to present, if you've got, presentation to do in front of senior people and you're bricking it, if you need to get up on stage at a conference, I've done that a few times over the past couple of years. It is nerve-wracking, but once you get up there, well, for me anyway, once I'm up there, I'm fine. So how does this help you? So I wanted to share the things that have helped me, right? And I've got a few different things that have helped me that might help you as well, that I thought I would share. Okay. Number one, right? So this is the biggest. Well, actually, there's two big things, right? Two big things. The first big thing, and this is something that I would tell anybody, right? The first big thing, because this applies to everybody, right? So the first big thing is, see, there are a few people watching now. So if you are watching, say hello in the comments. Let me know who you are, where you are, and how you are, right? Let me know that in the comments so that I know that you're here. And if you're watching this on replay, #replay so that I know that you're tuned in. So the number one thing that I would say to everyone is, and if you've worked with me for a while, if you've done my stuff, you will hear me saying this a lot. The number one thing is, sometimes you've just got to do it anyway, right? Because the only way, right? The only way you get confident at something, the only way you get better at something, the only way you can get past these nerves often is you've just got to go and do it, even if the first time you do it sucks. And I bet you, when you think the first time that you do it, when you think, oh my gosh, it sucks, I bet you it doesn't suck half as much as you think it does, right? Because it always feels worse and it always seems to suck more, right? When you're you, right? But somebody else looking on who hasn't got all this running commentary flying through their head, who isn't trying to remember all the things they were supposed to say, for somebody looking on, you know, they're not thinking that. They're not thinking that. I've just thought of something else I want to tell you to remember to do, because I always forget to do it, right? I always forget to do it, so I'm just going to write that down as well. So that's the number one thing, right? Sometimes you just have to embrace the suck and learn by doing, right? It's the best way to overcome your fear is to take action. I say that all the time. Face your fear, do it anyway, because confidence is a lagging emotion. It doesn't come before you've done something, it comes after. It comes after you've done it, after you've realized actually it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. After you've done it a few times, you start to get a little bit more comfortable with it, right? It just, you know, it gets easier. It gets easier. So take action, just do it. Just do it. The second big thing, right, and this doesn't apply to everyone, but it applies to a lot of people that work with me. Now, I think that is largely because I attract a certain type of person. Right? I attract a certain type of person to come and work with me. So the second big thing is stop focusing on everything being perfect, right? Perfectionism is one of my biggest saboteurs, and I like to think of myself now as a recovering perfectionist, because I have come to realize, and it's taken me a long time to realize this, but I have come to realize that that just gets in my way, right? So this endless pursuit of perfection, I used to think it was where my drive came from. It was, what gave me a sense of achievement, what kept me going, where my determination comes from, because I am very determined. I am very persistent as well. I am relentless. Somebody has told me before that I am relentless, which I think is an okay thing to say. I am relentless. But perfectionism, right? Perfectionism is just something that holds us back and gets in our way, because when we strive for perfection, 9 times out of 10, we're disappointed, right? 9 times out of 10, we're disappointed. So let go of it having to be perfect, right? You've got to learn, if you're going to master the art of presenting, you've got to learn that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to get it wrong. You've got to give yourself permission for that, because we're human, right? We are human, and we are not perfect. We are not perfect. We are all imperfect, and that is okay. And it's what makes us all different. It's what gives us our own little quirks, the things that are kind of unique to us. We're all different, and we all come with our own imperfections. And so, it's okay for something to go wrong. And, it's okay to say, actually, it's okay to stop. It's okay to take a minute. It's okay to say, oh, actually, what I meant to say was, just as long as you smile, as long as you smile about it, you're going to take the audience with you. And that's the thing. So that's one of the things I was going to say that I wrote down that I had forgotten to put on my little list of things to tell you here, is remember and smile, right? Because when we're presenting, if we're smiling, right? So I will smile no matter what, but just allow yourself to smile. Sometimes you have to force yourself to smile, because when you're in that kind of situation where you're nervous, it can be difficult to remember to smile because you've got so many other things that you're thinking about. But just let yourself smile, because when you smile, everyone smiles with you, right? Everyone smiles with you. You put people at ease. They feel comfortable. That's going to make you feel comfortable, and everything just, is so much better if you just let yourself smile. So if you do nothing else, right? So nothing else from this little Ignite show about presenting, just let yourself smile and just notice how you feel different. Notice how things are perceived differently. Notice how you are received more warmly just because you give yourself permission to smile. And I know I don't do it enough, right? I need to smile more, but just so now I'm going to smile all the way through the rest of this, right? So remember to smile. So those are 2 things. Take action. Stop focusing on it being perfect. Allow yourself to make mistakes. It's okay to mess up. Some of my best presentations are where I've messed up, and people have come up to me afterwards and said, oh, that bit was so funny because you got something wrong, and So just, it's okay to make mistakes. People are genuinely quite, usually generally quite forgiving. And as long as you don't suddenly panic and get all uncomfortable because you made a mistake, that if you're uncomfortable, the audience is going to be uncomfortable, right? So when you see someone standing trying to present and they're awkward, they're uncomfortable, they're that's when the audience are shifting in their seat and they're like, this is a bit painful, right? So, we can trick our brains, right? Our bodies can trick our brains into thinking that everything is okay. We just need to smile. And everything will be fine. Now, what else can I tell you? So I said, yeah, sometimes you've just got to do it, even if it sucks. It's the same with video, right? If you need to do some video, or you need to do like a live broadcast like this is, the first ones you do, they're probably not going to be that great, right? So, but you can start with recorded video, right? So start with recorded, and then you can stop and start again if you muck up. What I find is, when I'm doing a recorded video, because I know I can stop and start again, I actually find I make more mistakes. Whereas if I just go live, it's like, well, I can't, I have to keep going. So if I make a mistake, well, I just have to carry on because it's live. So I realize that might push you out of your comfort zone, but that's, it's a good way to practice, right? Just go live and, just go with the flow and see what happens. So be okay with it sucking to start with. It will get better over time. And that's okay. So it does get easier. Training, right? So if you're really nervous about presenting, getting some professional training around it will really help. I have been on a few presentation skills courses. I've learned a lot from them. One of them in particular was brutal, really brutal, because it was one of those ones where you're filmed, you get critiqued, you get all this feedback, but they do work. Like they do really help. So I definitely recommend that. What else? Get feedback as well. Ask, and the thing about feedback, go and ask for feedback on the things that you're really good at, right? Don't ask for feedback on the things that you suck at. Ask for feedback on the things that you already do really well, so that you're building up, right? Building up your strengths, and you're getting clarity on your strengths so that you can stand in your strengths and use them. Play to your advantage when you have to present. Right, and that's a general tip that I give to everybody about almost anything, is know your strengths and play to them in any situation. It's always going to help you. Always make things easier if you play to your strengths. You got to forget about the inner critic, right? That's something else, that little voice that whispers in your ear. Whisper, 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 you're not good enough. What if they laugh? What if they're judging, right? Okay, silence that inner critic. We don't want to be listening to that. We want to listen to the inner leader instead, the part of you that usually lives here. Not always, but usually the part of you that knows what's best, is full of knowledge, compassion, wisdom, knows where we're headed, knows the direction, and we all have a part of us that's like that. Just the same as we all have that inner critic whispering in our ear, we also have another part of us that knows what's best and is generally drowned out by the noise of the saboteur or the inner critic. And so we want to tune in and focus on something else, the inner leader instead. And lastly, right, so in fact, sorry, actually two things. So one more thing before I say lastly, one more thing is, it's about the message, right? Not you. Focus on the message. What is it? What is the message? What is it that you want to leave people with? What do you want people to do as a result of whatever you're sharing, whatever you are speaking about? Because that is the thing that you want to focus on rather than yourself, right? So make it about the message, not about you. And then the last thing, right? So if you do mess up and you do get it wrong and you feel terrible and you feel shamed and you feel embarrassed and you want the ground to swallow you, which I'm sure is not going to happen. But if it did happen, right, you've got to be resilient, right? You've got to get up and do it again. Just keep going, keep trying, keep doing it, keep practicing, keep doing more, right? Because the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. And the better you are going to get at it as well, and the more confident you will become around it. Right. That's my quick fire tips for feeling more confident, right, when you are tasked with having to present to an audience. So I hope that was helpful. Now, these are all things, most of them anyway, These are all things that I cover to an extent, so we don't go massively, we don't kind of deep dive massively on this stuff, but I cover lots of these things. So I talk about strengths, talk about getting feedback. I don't cover resilience, definitely talk about the inner critic. We spend a whole day on the inner critic in the challenge. I cover all of these things in my 5-day challenge, right? So I'm talking about as well. The doors are opening on Friday. There is a link in this post. I'd love you to come and join me. So if you have done the challenge before and you want to do it again, you're very welcome. The doors are wide open. Come on in. If you've never done my challenge before and you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, come on in. You're going to love it, right? Come on in. And I always have a little bonus in my challenge as well. So there's always an opportunity to continue working with me in my challenge, which I make, I don't hide that, there's no surprise. If you don't continue working with me, that's absolutely fine as well. Most people don't, but a few people do continue working with me. But if you join my challenge and if you're thinking about working with me and you want to find out more, the challenge is a great place to start. And if you want to continue working with me after my challenge, all of my challengees who continue working with me get a special bonus, right? Get a special bonus. And you have to be in the challenge to find out what that is. So there's a reason to sign up. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you're watching on replay, #replay so that I know you've tuned in. And if you do want to join my challenge, the link is in the post. Sign up, the link is there. I look forward to welcoming you in, and it is only a few days until I open the doors. So we open the doors on Friday, so late Friday afternoon, I'll be opening the doors and letting everyone in. Then Monday morning sharp, 6 a.m. Monday morning, the first task comes out and we get started, and it's going to be amazing. So come and join me, it's going to be great. Now I'll speak to you soon. Take care, bye.